Hello, Lawrence. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking, Matt.
Fantastic. Excellent.
How
Right.
are you?
Before we get cracking, I just want to ask you, do you like my jumper? I'm hoping our viewers
Make
like
Elvis great again.
the Make Christmas Great Again message. Now, we had a meeting last weekend, another successful meeting that you had arranged on behalf of the Maidstone branch of the British Democrats. We had some excellent speakers. The
Mm.
meeting was hosted by yourself. We had Stephen Johnson talking, Steve Smith, Chris Bateman, Cliff LeMay. I'd done a talk as well. So various different topics covered. I wanted to go through a couple of them. Stephen Johnson, I believe, was up first, and he was talking on political marketing. I noticed that the British Democrats have a new TikTok account. I mean, I'm hoping what that does, if we sort of utilise the tool, is that it might recruit some younger people into the party, or certainly raise awareness of the British Democrats. Do you think that's something we need to be doing?
Absolutely, we do. A party always needs a youth demographic, as many as possible. And the importance of the youth is because basically they're the future.
Absolutely.
They
Yeah.
they basically shape society after you.
Mm.
So if you don't have that pool of youth who can pick up the reins and show the way forward, then you ain't got much hope as a party.
Yeah, I agree. Fully
Not for
agree.
sustainability, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed Steve Smith's speech, as I normally do on nationalist ideology. I think what's brilliant about Steve is that he presents nationalism positively. It's a positive ideology,
Yeah,
as you and I probably agree on. But the media, over not just a few years, but over decades, if not longer, have presented patriotism, have presented nationalism as an irrelevance, as a sort of hate-filled ideology. And I really like the
basically,
way that Steve
yeah.
manages to rebuke that negative image and presents nationalism in a really positive light. What's your
Well,
thoughts on that?
well, they will try to paint us as thugs and etc., and all sorts of demonized phrases. And uh, you look at somebody like Stephen Johnson. Does he look like a thug?
No,
No. Um, yourself. You're not a thug. You're very well educated. You're highly intelligent. Um, so what the people hear from the media, a managed, demonized version of us, uh, isn't the truth. But then they have a funny way with telling the truth. Their truth is through their prism, um, which is basically a liberal bias, left wing centric, and so they're always going to be pushing their narrative to basically try and keep us out.
yeah, that's absolutely right. I think much of the time they don't even hide behind the fact that what their narrative is not even the truth. I don't believe in many of the cases that we see that they are representing the truth at all, and I don't believe they believe themselves they're representing the truth. Demonizing us, they're mocking us because that's the way they are. That's the way that they sort of harbour their quite hate-filled liberal leftist sort of agenda, and that's what comes out of them.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
some of the
it's
people that we've sadly had contact with over the years have been very awful people, and I think things are starting to change. There's the narrative in the country is beginning to change somewhat. But
I think. Sorry. You see a reflection of this as well with the likes of the lecturers. Both
mm,
you and I had experience of, and so did a few other party members um, at a university that we both attended. Um, the stench of leftist um, diatribe that came the from the lecturers, incredible. And
yeah,
this is
yeah,
this is how how they stroll around carefree, and because nobody challenges them.
That's right. That's right.
My question to them would be, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Right, I'm moving on now. Chris Bateman was speaking, and he was reaffirming the importance of community politics. And I think his speech was really good. It's a topic that he's spoken about at previous British Democrat meetings. And he's really committed to the ideology of community politics, something that the party is really committed to. And so it's always a pleasure to hear Chris speaking. And the differences he can make at parish level as well. That's quite important. So you've been a parish councillor before, haven't you? And you've been a councillor on, was it district council or borough council?
Borough, Barking and Dagenham.
Yeah, yeah. So you understand the importance of community politics as well.
I do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know, if you've ever been a councillor, right, or a representative at any level, really, I think you can do things, and in hindsight, you perhaps wish you'd done them differently or better. So if you get another bite at the cherry, then you can take on what you've reflected upon, and you can basically look to improve both yourself and your outward promotion of the party, what you represent, and everything else. Because perhaps first time around, when you look back, you've not done as good a job as you thought you did. And but that can, you know, learning and recognizing your experiences and things that you did well, things that you didn't do so well, can only make you stronger. Yeah,
absolutely. I agree. And finally, Cliff LeMay delivered a fascinating speech on anthropology. And he speaks at length on this topic. It was really interesting to hear, but sadly, our meeting time was up and people wanted to get into the hall to clear it. So he had to cut his speech short, unfortunately. So I don't know whether that's going to be up online in one of our videos. But it was an incredibly fascinating speech. And I really thank Cliff for his research and his passion on the topic, because he goes into so much depth on what he speaks about.
Yeah, I could listen to him on that subject for hours.
So could I.
I find it so fascinating.
Yeah, so could I.
It's a fascinating subject. But then, I mean, this is a sort of subject that you're not going to hear from the mainstream broadcasters, the way Cliff has presented it, stripping it down to its bare bones. They'll push a leftist, liberal, centric view of it, right? And they'll try to make the facts fit the ideology, whereas the facts should just be left to the facts should fit the facts.
That's right.
And if something doesn't tally, then you've got to work out why it doesn't tally. Don't inject your ideology about it. If something was, say for example, as you were saying about the Out of Africa, right? Version of evolution. If that was absolutely cast iron in concrete, then you accept it, regardless of whether you're left, you're right, you're liberal, right? But the left and the liberals can't do that. They can't do that because, if we do that, then that might make us racist. No, it just makes you a realist.
Yeah,
there's a difference. So if something is contradicting the Out of Africa, and there's absolutely cast iron proof to contradict it, then you go with what the contradiction of the Out of Africa is. Otherwise, you're basically just selling a lie.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, I fully agree with you, Lawrence. I delivered a speech, and on our website, Matt Godden delivers a speech on the book 1985. Now, that's not a typo. For anyone watching this, they may think, surely it should be 1984, Orwell's classic work. Well, when that video is up on our YouTube page and on our website, you'll see, of course, I'm talking about the Anthony Burgess book, 1985. which was his vision of a dystopian future, which he wrote in the mid to late 1970s. It was published in 1978. So I just wanted to put that in there. And finally, we raised a really good amount in donations as well, which I was incredibly pleased about, because we only had our AGM a few weeks ago. And so for people to come out, to sit, listen to us lot talking, of course, the meeting was hosted by your good self, and then to give so generously after they've just done so, some of them who attended the AGM, I thought was fantastic. And I just wanted to say a very public thank you to everybody who attended.
Yeah.
Everybody listened so intently to all of us speakers. Everybody made that contribution.
That's you know, that's the thing about us. We don't have the likes of GB News acting as our advertising agency, right, for 2 solid years, like they have Farage's mob, Farage PLC. So what we do and how we manage to do it is miraculous.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that we are bound to grow because we've got good people that basically won't accept no reward.
But that was the meeting, really good meeting. Really pleased you organised it. Thanks so much for letting me speak at it. It's always a privilege to attend these meetings and deliver a little talk. But moving forward, we've got some...
Sorry, Matt. It's a privilege for me to be able to put them on.
Yeah, thank you, Lawrence. Thank you.
It's an honour.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Next year, looking forward, we've got the county elections. How important are they to the party? And what do we seek to achieve?
I think how I would look at the county council elections is, yes, they're important. They're important in their own right, because they're a platform for us to get our message out at an electoral cycle. But it's not where the focus for me is. Yeah, if we can achieve some really good percentages, if we can, you know, do as well as we possibly can, and show that the electorate that there is a genuine, sensible, patriotic choice in the form of the British Democrats, that doesn't offer ridiculous, fake anti-immigration policies of 1 in, 1 out. What a disaster that would be. Basically, it's a continuation of the same. And others, like Farage's mob, dress it up as something radical, and no, it's not. No, it's not. Stop lying to the people, like your members continually do, about having defeated a previous nationalist organisation when you did nothing of the sort. So don't lie. Right? You make yourself look a complete and utter pillock. So, as far as the elections are concerned for next year, they're a platform to build on for the next cycle, so that we can, a bit like a guerrilla force, fight the battles where we choose to fight them, where we know what we can do very well. And so this is what this contest is for me on a personal level. Yeah, I want to see those that stand do as well as they can for their own personal fulfillment. But it's recruitment, it's getting the message out, it's showing the electorate that there is something else, something genuine, and something worth backing.
I agree with you. I think these elections are really good for trying to get the British Democrats brand out there, hoping to recruit some more members, or hopefully some activists, or just some supporters as well. You know, we need to get the message out there. I should certainly be helping you in that campaign here in Kent.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time, Lawrence. It's been really good catching up with you.
Sorry, I can't, be even more that I would like to be.
Mm.
All I can do is just do as much as I can possibly do, help as many as I possibly can, for the greater good.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
what drives me.
Absolutely. Well, your work
Possibly.
is tireless in the party, and I think we all really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's on any way, shape, or form a level of others, but you do your bit, everybody does their bit. So if you all pull in the same direction, we'll hopefully achieve something worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely.
And make a breakthrough very soon.
Brilliant. Lawrence, thanks so much for your
Well,
time. It's been great catching up with
thank
you,
you,
and I will see you
thank you,
soon.
and I'll see you soon too. And if I
And
don't
just
see you before Christmas, have a great one.
and the same to you. And just remember, make Christmas great again.